There we go. Oh, there you go. Can you hear us? You're muted.
Okay, is that better? Can you hear me now?
I can. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you're Brandon Sanger?
Yes, sir.
Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yeah, Sanger.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sanger, you're here today to make a first appearance. You have been charged in case number 2021 CR 130 with one count of disorderly conduct. This stems from a report on July 18th of this year that says that you engaged in brawling or fighting with knowledge or probable cause to believe that such conduct would cause alarm, anger, or disturb others or provoke an assault or other breach of the peace. This is a Class C misdemeanor punishable by up to 30 days in the county jail and a fine of up to $500. Do you understand what you've been charged with and the possible penalties?
Yes, sir.
And now this is only an allegation. You have the right to have a trial on this matter where the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did indeed commit this offense. And you also have the right to have legal counsel. And if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. What we're here today is to figure out how you'd like to proceed on this case, especially when it comes to legal counsel. If you'd like time to hire an attorney, I could continue this for a couple of weeks. If you need the court to appoint you one, you can ask about that right now.
No, I don't think the legal counsel is necessary. The thing I'm not 100% sure on is I didn't know if maybe I should talk to the prosecutor. My biggest thing is, yes, I would like to take this to trial, but at the same time, I have to be careful with missing work and things like that.
Well, you do have the right to have a trial, and like I said, if you want to discuss this with legal counsel, I can't give you legal advice.
Right.
I want to also I also want to advise you of your rights to not discuss the facts of the case in a public hearing, because you might say something that could be used against you later. If you'd like some time, or if, can you afford an attorney?
To be honest, no, not right now.
Okay. Are you employed?
Yes, sir.
And where do you work?
I'm actually self-employed.
Okay. About how much, and I know that things have been kind of iffy recently, but about how much have you been making per month?
I would say on average, probably around $2,000 a month, roughly $500 a week, give or take, obviously. But
okay. And do you have any dependents? Do you have anybody you help support?
Yeah, my wife and 2 children.
Okay, so that'd give you a household of 4. So you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney if you'd like me to appoint you one, and then that way you'd have somebody to talk to about this.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. That sounds like the best way to go about it, I think.
Okay. I'm going, and do you live here in Kingman?
No, I actually live in Garden Plain.
Oh, okay. So you wouldn't have any cases with the Kingman City Court?
No, no, sir.
Okay. I'm just looking on this to make sure. I'm going to appoint Cody Smith to represent you,
Okay.
and we will send you his contact information.
Okay. Will that be via mail or email, or how do you guys generally send that out?
If we have if you want to call the Kingman District Court Clerk's office,
Yep.
when you Google that, you have to put in Kansas or you get Arizona.
Yeah.
And give us your email. We can send you that via email. Otherwise, they'll send it to you just like you got this information.
Okay.
Which probably is through the post office.
Yes, sir.
So, but if we have your address, we'll mail it to you. Otherwise, you can call us, give us your email address, and we can send you information that way.
Okay.
Okay.
I called up the other day. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I called up the other day just to double check. I wanted to double check as far as the court time and everything like that. The gal I talked to, I gave her my email. She actually emailed me the information for this Zoom meeting. Should I contact her again, or
no? Well, then that means we've already got your. If we've already got your email information, we will email that stuff to you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and we'll email Mr. Smith's information to you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue this until August 19th at 1:30 p.m.
Okay.
And we will and then that'll give you a couple of weeks to
get everything sorted out.
I'm trying to write all this down and to contact Mr. Smith and let you know, and you all can try to figure out how you want to proceed with this. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And Mr. Richa, is there anything else that you need from Mr. Sanger?
Not today, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen.
Then we've got Michael Sanger. Excuse me. All right, I'm gonna get you to unmute.
All right.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
There's a James Baggett here then for his court, Judge. Just
Okay.
letting you know he'll be back in the courtroom shortly.
Okay, thank you. And good morning. Are you Michael Sanger?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Sanger, you're here today to make a first appearance in case number 2021 CR 129. You have been charged with one count of disorderly conduct. This stems from a report on July 18th, where it claims that you engaged in brawling or fighting with the knowledge or probable cause to believe that such conduct would alarm, anger, or disturb others or provoke an assault or other breach of the peace. This is a Class C misdemeanor and is punishable by up to 30 days in the county jail and a fine of up to $500. Do you understand what you've been charged with and the possible penalty?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is only an allegation. You have the right to have a trial in this matter where the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed this offense, and you have the right to have legal counsel. And if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you understand those rights?
Yeah.
And what we're here today is to figure out how you'd like to proceed on this case. If you'd like to hire your own attorney, I'll continue this for a couple of weeks to give you a chance to do that. If you need the court to appoint you an attorney, you can let me know about that today, and we can proceed down that road. How would you like to proceed?
I would like to speak with the prosecutor.
Okay, I tell you what, I'm going to continue this for a couple of weeks until August 19th at 1:30 p.m. And that'll give you a chance to contact the Kingman County Attorney's Office and talk to them about a possible resolution.
Okay.
And at any point, if you want legal counsel, I can't give you legal advice, and of course, neither can the prosecutor's office. But if you would like to consult an attorney and you find out you can't afford one, at any point in the proceeding, you can ask for an attorney.
Okay.
Okay. And so otherwise, we'll see you back here, and you can use the same information that you used to log on today. And you can, we'll see you back here on the 19th at 1:30.
Okay. And if I come to a resolution with the prosecutor, do I still need to show up to that court date?
It depends on what kind of resolution you get.
Okay.
That's something to talk to the prosecutor about.
Okay.
Okay. And so, yes, some of these things can be, what I can tell you is that, there are some resolutions that could be handled by paperwork, and there are some that would need you to appear.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, if you don't hear otherwise, but they will tell you if you don't need to appear, and if this can be handled. If you don't hear otherwise, just sign back in like you did today at 1:30 on August 19th.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Rich, you need anything more from Mr. Sanger?
No, Judge.
Okay. Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you.
Good morning. How do you pronounce your last name? Oh, I'm sorry, you're on mute.
It is Heine.
All right, Ms. Heine, and you're Danielle Heine?
Correct.
Ms. Heine, you're here today to make a first appearance. You have been charged in case number 2021 CR 128 with several counts, and I'm going to go over those with you right now. In count 1, you've been charged with possession of marijuana. This is this stems from a report on May 28th of 2021. This is the Class B misdemeanor and is punishable by up to 6 months in jail and a fine of up to $2,500. In count 2, you've been charged with transporting an open container, which is an unclassified misdemeanor, punishable by up to 6 months in the county jail and a fine of up to $200. In count 3, you've been charged with failure to yield at a stop sign, which is a traffic infraction that carries a statutory fine of $60. In count 4, you've been charged with improper movement and basically not using a required signal, which is also a traffic infraction, also carries a statutory fine of $60. In count 5, you have been cited for failure to maintain a single lane. And all these are from that same date on May 28th, which is a traffic infraction, also carries a fine of $60. Now, if you would be found guilty of any or all of these charges, you could be sentenced to serve them all concurrently. You could be sentenced, which means you'd serve any jail time all at the same time. You could also be sentenced to serve these consecutively, which means you'd serve one sentence and then start the next one. Do you understand what you've been charged with and the possible penalties?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
And these are only allegations. You have the right to have a trial on this matter where the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did indeed commit these offenses. And you have the right to have legal counsel. And if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. And really what we're here today is to figure out how you'd like to proceed on this matter. If you would like to have time to hire an attorney, I'll continue this for a couple of weeks to give you that opportunity. If you can't afford one and you need the court to appoint you legal counsel, we can take that up today. So as it pertains to legal counsel, how would you like to proceed?
May I try to find my own counsel? I've spoken with somebody. I just need to come up with more of the retainer funds.
Okay. And how long do you think it will take you to get that worked out?
Probably a few weeks, a couple pay periods.
Okay. I tell you what, Mr. Richard, do you have any objection to continuing this to September 2nd?
No, Judge.
Okay. So, Ms. Heine, what I'm going to do is continue this until September 2nd
Okay.
at 9:30 a.m. And that ought to give you a chance to get legal counsel and have your legal counsel enter an appearance. Depending on who you hire and their schedule, this may change, but if you don't hear anything else, just do like you did today and sign in. You can use the same sign-in information and sign in on September 2nd at 9:30. Of course, if your attorney wants to reschedule this, he or she will tell you about that. And or if something happens and you can't get the attorney finalized, just show back up on September 2nd and we'll deal with it then. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any other questions?
Not at this time. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Richard, do you need anything further from the state for the state of Kansas from Ms. Heine?
No, Judge.
Okay, thank you very much, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
And then is Mr. Battle back in the courtroom? What do you say now?
He's taking up another case right now. So he'll probably call you in tomorrow.
Sound like the last name. Is it Mr. Badgett?
Yes. You can go ahead and have a seat now.
Yes, sir.
All right. And you're James Badgett, right?
Baggett, yes, sir.
Baggett, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
That was my next question, is if I'm
It's okay.
pronouncing this correctly. Let me get you pulled up here. And Mr. Badgett, you're here today to make a first appearance in 2020 TR 525, and you've been charged with or cited with driving while your license is canceled or suspended. This is a Class B misdemeanor, punishable by up to 6 months in the county jail and a fine of up to $1,000. Do you understand what you've been charged with and the possible penalty?
Yes, sir.
And
It was
this is only an allegation. This stems from a report on July 23rd, and this is only an allegation. You have the right to have a trial on this matter where the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did indeed commit this offense. And you also have the right to have legal counsel. And if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you understand all that?
yes, sir. It was.
And so how would you like to proceed?
Yes, sir. It was 21 years ago. I went and paid in Sedgwick County, and he said, "You're good. It'll be 2 weeks to 3 weeks. It'll run through the system. You're legal." And I even told the officer, he says, "Yep." He says, 21 years ago. I said, "Paid a fine the day before." He says, it takes 2 or 3 weeks to run through the system before I can go to the DMV. But all fines are paid.
Okay.
21 years ago. I ain't been in court in 21 years. This surprised me because the officer checked on it. He says, "You're legal. You just got to go to DMV when the system runs through."
Okay. Have you talked to the county attorney's office here about this?
No, I
Okay.
live in no, I didn't, sir.
Okay. What you have to do is you have to, you need to talk to the county attorney's office. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue this for a couple of weeks to allow you to do that and see if you can get this worked out. And if you can't, then come back on, I'm going to continue this to August 19th at 8:30 a.m. And if you can't get this worked out, just come back and we'll check in with you and see where you are at that point. Okay.
And if the clerk in Sedgwick County, they said it should take 2 to 3 weeks. He says with the virus, it might drag. He says, but so if I come back in 2 weeks and I got my license.
Well, you need to talk to the, you need to talk to the county. This is something that the county attorney decides whether to proceed with a case or not.
Oh, okay.
And I'm kind of just here on the referee. I mean, if you've got a dispute, if you've got a dispute, we can, like I said, you have the right to have a trial on this. And, if there's a dispute, that's what court's here to settle it. But you might be able to work this out. Mr. Rich is here. But you need to talk to him outside of court. And neither Mr. Rich or I can give you legal advice. If you can't get it resolved, this is something you might want to talk to an attorney about. But I'll give you a couple of weeks and go by the county attorney's office, which is up here on Main Street. And
Here in Kingman, sir?
Yes.
I don't live in Kingman, I live in Wichita. But
Well, yeah.
I'm learning.
Or you can call them. Yeah, you can call them. You can go by there after court today, and you might be able to work something out.
Okay, I appreciate it.
And if not, come back in a couple of weeks. If you want to go across the hall to the clerk's office, they'll give you information about how you can appear remotely if you need to come back in 2 weeks. And
Thank you very much, sir.
Mr. Richard, do you have anything to add, or do you need anything further from Mr. Baggett?
Well, I just pulled up his temporary driving record, and I'm showing something occurring in 2016. So that may be
2016?
some,
Sure.
so that may be something connected to that, but just the information. That's what I'm seeing here. But I'll run the full driving record, see what's going on. Obviously, if there was a mistake with Department of Revenue that unintentionally suspended him, that is a problem. But no, I don't have anything in addition. Thank you,
Sure.
Judge.
Sir, when I went to Sedgwick County, he wrote everything. He says 2099.
Well, and like I said, this is something, if you've got, if
Already
you've got,
paid it.
yeah, if you've got some documentation to show that, like I said, work that out with the county attorney's office. If you cannot get it worked out, come back on the 19th. And I mean, if nothing else, we'll set this for trial. But you might be able to get, but yeah, you've got a couple of weeks to try to get it worked out.
Well, thank you. I'll come back in with my license. As Sedgwick County said, it should be like this week or next week, going to DMV.
Just do it. If you don't get it back in a couple of weeks, just come back to court. If you need more time, we might be able to give it to you. Like I said, talk to the Kingman County Attorney's Office, and and you might be able to work this out.
Okay. Thanks very much for your time, sir.
It sounds like Mr. Richa is going to be doing some further investigation and see about this. If you think you need legal counsel at any point in these proceedings and you can't afford an attorney, I mean, you can either hire your own attorney, or you can always ask me to appoint you one.
Appreciate it, sir. This shouldn't go to trial.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you. Good luck to you, and hope you can get it worked out.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. You have a good day.
All right.
I got a bad news.
It's all right. It's all right. If you do want to appear remotely, on your phone there, through Zoom, this is the information and what you would need on there.
I appreciate it. I'll come in person.
In order to do that, whatever
I'll just come in person.
Whatever you care to do, but
Yeah.
that's an option. Okay. What I did for some paperwork for you, if you'll just go across the hall, like the judge said, and pick up a copy of your paperwork in there. Okay, so you have your next court date. Okay, and then there'll be a card in there for Mr. Rich's office. Okay, Mr. Richard, the county attorney. Okay, so just go.
Through I can't hear him.
Just go across the hall there and get your paperwork in his card.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. You have a good day.
Sure, you too.
Thank you. Anybody else in the courtroom?
No, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Morales. Ms. Morales, you're muted.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Good morning. So it looks like that you're here for a docket call in 2018 TR 1217. Looks like that you had that you made a first appearance. There was a bench warrant issued, and then you were let out on bond. How would you like to, and since this is a 2018 case, you're still facing a misdemeanor charge of operating a motor vehicle without a license. So what we're here today is to figure out how you want to proceed with this.
I'd like to get it taken care of. I don't know what, you tell me what I need to do at this point and I'll get it done.
Well, you can either consult with an attorney, you can, or you can. I can give you a couple of weeks, and you can contact. Have you been in contact with the county attorney's office?
No, sir. I've been working every day since I got out, so I haven't had a chance to do that.
Okay. If Mr. Richa has no objection, I'm going to continue this for 2 weeks until August 19th and at 8:30 a.m. and see if you can go by the county attorney's office and see if you can reach a resolution on this. If at any point you need the court to appoint you an attorney or you'd like to consult with an attorney, now neither myself or any of the court personnel or Mr. Richa being the prosecutor, nobody can give you legal advice on what to do. But if you'd like to consult with an attorney, you're more than welcome to do that. And if nothing gets worked out, come back on the 19th at 8:30 a.m., sign in just the same way that you signed in today, and we'll see where we are.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Richa, do you have anything that you need from Ms. Morales? Or?
No, Judge.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
I hope you can get this worked out.
All right, thank you.
All right, Mr. Shantz?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Shantz, you're here in case number 2020 CR 54. And it looks like that you made a first appearance last July. We couldn't get a hold of you, and so I issued a bench warrant in November, which was served, and you were given an OR bond, and today's court date. And so what we're here to do is to try to figure out how you want to proceed with this case. Looks like you have a Class B misdemeanor on an open burning charge. So how would you like to proceed on this?
Well, when I first appeared, I don't know if that was before you, I can't remember, but the judge ruled that I could pay restitution in the amount that the Kingman Fire Department requested, and they were supposed to get that amount from them and then contact me. And I think you had mentioned you were unable to reach me. I moved last year in, let's see, it was October last year. So that could possibly be why. But they said I wouldn't have to appear again. I just had to pay the restitution, that they were going to reach out to me with the amount. And I tried calling in once, and I think my girlfriend called in once, and we were unable to get into contact with anybody who knew what that amount was. And then it just kind of got forgotten about, honestly. So I'll take responsibility for that. But as far as I know, I just need to pay whatever restitution to the fire department in Kingman.
So
Okay.
clarification, Judge, we didn't have a trial or anything like that. There's no court order that states what Mr. Shantz can and can't do in the case. But it is my office's policy that in these cases, they can pay restitution and court costs in exchange for a dismissal. We sent a letter out to Mr. Shantz on October 6th, 2020, that ultimately ended up coming back to us saying that's return to sender that was at his previous address. And then evidently, I don't know if he was calling over the noon hour or after hours or something, but never reached back. Certainly, we could still resolve it in that manner. If you would contact my office, we could set that up. I have a fine amount, or excuse me, a restitution amount, court cost amount. He could certainly pay that. We could get this resolved.
All right, yeah, and on this, so on the first appearance, it does, and this was before me, and it says that the matter is taken care of before the next court date, that you're not required to appear. On the other hand, if it's not, and what that suggests is if it's not taken care of by the next court date, you have to appear. And apparently, then you moved, and it was. There was difficulty getting you that information. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue this for a couple of weeks until August 19th at 8:30 a.m. And then you can, that'll give you 2 weeks to figure all this out and make sure that we have your new address, that everybody has your new address. You can contact the, where do you live?
I live in Newton, Kansas.
Oh, okay. So contact the Kingman County Attorney's Office and see if you can get this, because evidently they do have everything that you owe waiting for you. Contact them, see if you can get this paid and worked out. If you can't do that, then just sign in, keep this sign-in information because you can use it in 2 weeks. Just check in with us, sign in on August 19th at 8:30, and we'll see where you are then, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and then, that way you won't have any bench warrants or anything like that.
That would be great.
Okay.
I do have a question about the bench warrant, though. I think my license was suspended due to the warrant, I believe. Or maybe that's
shouldn't be.
I think the officer, I got pulled over for a cracked windshield, and he said that my license was suspended and that it was because I had unresolved a case, and this was the only one. This is the only issue that I have. So
that would
I don't
be
have any unpaid traffic tickets or anything like that. So I don't know if my license was suspended due to this not being resolved.
That would be very unusual for what they call a CR case, a criminal case, a non-traffic case, to suspend your license. What I would suggest is you contact the Kansas Department of Revenue, Motor Vehicles Division. They'll be able to tell you, kind of direct you to where you may have an issue with your license. Like I said, it'd be pretty rare for something like this to. I don't know why this would suspend your license, but if you contact them, they'll be able to help you with that.
Okay.
And if you and if they tell you it is because of this case, come back on the 19th or let when you talk to the county attorney's office, let them know, and we'll see where we go from there.
Okay.
All right. Anything further?
No, Your Honor, that's great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, and good luck to you on getting all this worked out.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well. What's your name?
Joshua Hudson.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm using my mom's computer, so it shows up Patty.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll change it there. All right. Mr. Hudson, let me pull up your case really quickly. So, Mr. Hudson, you're here today to make a first appearance. You've been charged in case number 2021 CR 117 with one count of misdemeanor battery. This stems from a report on June 25th, 2021, where it claims that you knowingly or recklessly caused bodily harm to another person and or intentionally caused physical contact with another person. In this case, it was Joseph Greathouse, done in a rude, insulting, or angry manner. This is a Class B misdemeanor, punishable by up to 6 months in the county jail and a fine of up to $1,000. Do you understand what you've been charged with and the possible penalty?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is only an allegation. You have the right to have a trial on this matter where the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did indeed commit this offense. And you have the right to defend yourself in public court. You also have the right to have legal counsel, and you can either hire your own attorney or one will be appointed to represent you if you cannot afford it and meet certain income guidelines. What we're here today is to figure out how you'd like to proceed on this, especially as it pertains to legal counsel. If you'd like to hire your own attorney, I will continue this for a couple of weeks to allow you to do that. If you need the court to appoint you an attorney, we can take that up today.
I was wondering if I got Mandy Stevens right now for another case going on in the Kingman County Court. Is there any way that I could use her still on this case?
Yeah. And when were you appointed her?
Before I got out, right before I got out on my last case, whenever I got OR'd.
I think that's been about a couple months.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been
So his application in that case would still.
It'd be current, Judge. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, sir. So I am going to appoint Mandy Stevenson to represent you in this case.
Okay.
And I am going to continue this until August 19th at 9:30 a.m. And that'll give you a couple of weeks to get in touch with Ms. Stevenson and figure out how you want to proceed on this. Okay.
Okay. And I think I got another court date on that day too. I don't know if I do, if I'm, I think.
Contact Miss Stevenson and she'll be able to help you with that.
Yeah, and if nothing else, we might be able to, if your other case is in front of me, we might be able to reschedule those to put them all on the same date and just make things easier. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Okay. Mr. Rich is stating anything more on Mr. Hudson's case?
No, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hudson. And you can use the same sign information in a couple of weeks and talk to Ms. Stevenson, see what you have to do, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And then we have Mr. Battle. James Battle. I don't, he's not in the courtroom and not in the waiting room. In case number 2021 TR 142. He has several traffic infractions. Have you heard from Mr. Battle, Mr. Richa?
I have not, Judge. This is a case where he failed to appear. He owed $328. So you issued a $328 cash only bond. Looks like
He was arrested by the Butler County Sheriff.
posted an appearance bond. With today's date on it, but he does not appear. So obviously, normally when we come to this type of situation, I'm asking that that cash bond be converted so that we can resolve the case. However, of course, if Mr. Battle doesn't appear, then it makes it rather difficult to do that. And I don't know what it takes to get his attention. I guess I'd request an additional bench warrant at this time, but with a larger cash surety bond.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. Okay, and what would you recommend for the cash or surety bond?
$2,500.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. So why don't we do a $2,500 cash or surety on another bench warrant and see if Mr. Battle will show up to court and agree. All he's got to do is agree or contact your office, and if he can agree to transfer those funds over, we can get this taken care of.
Well, maybe he'll show up later today or something like that. But yeah.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out for him.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, and we can go on to, looks like 9:30, and Ms. Stevenson is in the waiting room.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, it's just it's another Thursday, so we're doing well. Despite the Delta variant.
A little scary.
Okay, so you're here for Mr. Green or with Mr. Green or?
He's in custody, Judge.
Okay. Do we need to bring him over, or is this something you can appear for him, or?
I'm going to
They
be.
not.
Go ahead.
They're not on Zoom.
They are
Jail
not.
not on Zoom.
They are not.
Give me 1 second. I can call over there.
Great. Yeah, were you expecting them to be? I thought he was in custody, but then I didn't see the jail on there, so I thought maybe.
Yeah, I was expecting him to be on Zoom with us.
Oh, there they are. Good morning.
Morning.
Can we get Mr. Green?
Give me 2 seconds.
Thank you. morning, Mr. Green. All right, we're here in case number 2021 CR 127, and on Ms. Stevenson's motion to modify bond. Is that correct, Ms. Stevenson?
Yes, Judge.
All right, you want to proceed on that?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Green's bond is currently at $50,000. As I've stated in my motion, he is not able to bond out at that amount. He doesn't have any financial ability to bond out at any kind of surety amount, to be quite honest. What I'm asking for is an OR bond. My client will agree to adhere to any reporting requirements. He will keep in touch with me. He's already given me his address and his phone number. He does live in Pratt with his mother. And I have all of that contact information already. I also can assure the court that he will stay in contact with me and help me work through this case. He was employed prior to coming into custody. He's hopeful that if released, he would be able to regain that employment. And to be honest, Judge, it's just a whole lot easier to work on a case like this with my client out of jail instead of in jail. So I'm asking for the court to modify his bond. I'm confident with reporting requirements and check-ins that we can ensure safety of society and ensure that he will return to court. Again, he's fairly local. And with our hearings right now over Zoom, I'm confident we'll be able to ensure his appearance with those requirements as well.
All right, and just in case that he would have to come to court, does he have transportation?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Rich, do you have a position on this?
Judge, I think an OR bond is entirely inappropriate in this matter. Judging on my review of the criminal history of Mr. Green, it appears that the level 5 felony he's charged with would make him a presumptive imprisonment case, which of course gives additional motivation for somebody to otherwise not appear or run as far as being released. It's also my understanding that Mr. Green is on probation in the in Pratt County and is currently a hearing set for violating those conditions, which also suggests to me that bond conditions and things of that he may not be as helpful with actually following those. I would agree for it's at $50,000 now. I think an appropriate bond would be maybe $25,000, which is a significant decrease, but I think an OR bond is entirely inappropriate.
All right, Ms. Stevenson, you want to respond to that and also maybe address his previous non-appearances or failing to report allegations?
Well, Judge, I think quite honestly, that's hearsay. We don't have any information or evidence before us that he's failing to report or why he supposedly is being violated on his probation. I don't think it's appropriate, quite honestly, to bring that into court without any evidence to show otherwise. Again, he's local. He obviously has reporting requirements out of Pratt County. I think that too will assure that he stays in the area and continues reporting. I'm renewing my request for an OR bond. He isn't going to be able to find out or bond out at any financial bond of any kind. Unfortunately, he, like I said, he lives with his mother and he lost his job when he was put in custody. He's been there, I believe, for a couple of weeks now. And I think an OR bond is appropriate to assist us in moving forward. He is innocent until proven guilty. These are allegations at this point. There is no solid conviction here. There never is in a case like this. We have a lot to work through and a lot to discuss, and I would ask for that OR bond to be granted.
Judge, since there's accusations of misconduct on my part being thrown around here, I guess I would just like to clarify that I never once said that he was violating his probation for failing to appear. I have no idea what the accusations are. Simply stated that he's got a probation revocation going forward, and that generally is indicative of somebody not following the proper rules. So that's my argument.
And I think, yeah, and just to clear this up, I think that he did state that these were accusations, and if I did not state, to, address those accusations, which, and Ms. Stevenson did address those, that yes, they are only accusations, and he does have a right to have a hearing on that matter. I'm trying to remember whether that's going to be in front of me or in front of Judge Meisenheimer. Yeah, and those accusations are out there. I'm going to go. This is a high-level felony. I don't know what Mr. Green's criminal history is, whether he'd be presumptive prison. He has not been convicted of anything. What I'm going to do, Mr. Green, is I'm going to go ahead and grant you an OR bond. I'm going to require that you report to our court services officer, Ms. Hagman. I'm going to set your OR bond at $5,000. If you fail to appear, you could be on the hook for that $5,000 cash. Since this is an OR bond, it wouldn't be a surety. You need to stay in touch with Ms. Stevenson. You need to report. And you need to report to the court services officer and abide by all conditions that your court services officer here in Kingman sets for you. And I'm also going to order that Ms. Hageman with the court services officer will have arrest and detain powers. So if something should happen, you don't report, you don't do what you're supposed to. She didn't have to come to me and ask me for a warrant. She can have you arrested and put back in jail. I hope you understand all that. Yeah. So, I always tell people you'll get one chance at an OR bond with me, and if you don't follow the conditions, you're going to end up back in jail, and I'm not going to do this again. Okay. But it sounds like you and Miss Stevenson have worked this out, and she seems pretty confident that you're going to report and keep in contact with her. So I'm going to do this because I do know that it's easier for her to work with her clients. But be sure and show up for court and stay in contact with your attorney and report to court services. When you get out of jail, come right up to the court services office and get signed up, okay? All right, and Ms. Stevenson, when would you like to set the next hearing?
Judge, given the concerns, I think it would be appropriate just to set a short leash on this one, maybe just 2 weeks. That will give me time to meet with Mr. Green and then kind of discuss a plan moving forward. I do have copies of documents that I need to get over to him, and that should be plenty of time to review it.
All right. Mr. Rich, any objection to that 2 weeks?
No objection to 2 weeks.
Okay. So we'll set this for 9:30 in the morning on August 19th. And Mr. Green, Ms. Stevenson will, if you stay in contact, and she'll provide you with the information if you want to participate remotely. If for some reason you don't have the wherewithal to participate remotely, come on over to the courthouse here in Kingman and we will accommodate you. Sure. Okay. Anything further, Ms. Stevenson, on this case?
No, Judge. Mr. Green, please give me a call as soon as you get released, okay? That's it, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Anything further, Mr. Richa?
No, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, we're good. Thank you.
All right. I believe that's all. Is that all we have with you, Ms. Stevenson?
Yes, I'm assuming you've seen the information on Ms. Long that was filed yesterday.
Yes.
Thank you, Brandon, for getting that filed so quickly.
All right. So yeah, that's all I had.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Ariano.
Good morning.
And you're here for Mr. Bowers, is that correct?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, and where are we on this case? Let me get this pulled up here.
And I apologize, Mr. Iano. I saw that I had missed a phone call from you yesterday afternoon, and I obviously didn't get you called back, so my apologies on that.
Not a problem. I called late, so, and clearly you leave the office early, so.
No, not yesterday.
Oh, so where are we on this case? It looks like there's been, after your entry of appearance, we've had several continuances.
Judge, I think at this point, probably it's something I'm going to need a motion hearing date on and a trial date, although I will talk to Brandon between now and then. But I think that's what we need to get this case moving along.
All right. And I mean, is this something, I mean, do we need to, okay.
I'll be filing a motion to suppress, Judge,
okay,
on this case, and probably proceeding to trial on it.
Okay. I was just, I was double checking this as a misdemeanor case so we can keep
That is
it.
correct.
So do you want to set, Steve, it never really mattered to me. Would you rather set a hearing for the motion to suppress first and then based upon the results there, then set a possible trial, or how would you?
That doesn't matter. That's fine. Sure.
I mean, that sounds good to me.
Usually motions to suppress are somewhat dispositive. So, you know, that might, depending on the outcome there, might take the care of the need for a trial.
Let me call up the other calendar here and see. So, Mr. Ariana and Mr. Rich, how long do you think you'd need on a motion to suppress to?
Well, I don't really know the content of the motion and what the allegation will be.
Illegal search based on an extension of the traffic stop.
Okay. So it looks like I'll probably have one, maybe two witnesses, and there'll probably be videos. So I think we're talking about a morning or an afternoon hearing.
Yeah, I think we can have this done in an hour, tops.
Okay. So are you looking in? So basically, our motion days would be Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Are we looking into September for this, or do you have time?
Well, Steve, when do you think you'll be able to have your motion on file?
In the next week.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if he has his motion on file in the next week, that'll be good. That should give me some time to actually review it.
Is the 7th too quick? The set like because I'm looking pretty free in September.
I can do this.
Go ahead, Brandon.
I would say I could do the 7th, but it'd have to be in the afternoon.
I'm gonna look at my calendar, Judge. I have to do it on my cell phone.
No, that's fine.
It'll probably take me off video and mute me for a second here.
No, that's fine.
While I do that. Okay, I'm back. 9/7 looks like it'll work. I'm scheduled to start a jury trial on 9/6, but we've already been in discussions about continuing that. So I'm pretty sure I'll be clear.
All right, so 1:30 on September 7th works for both of you?
Yes.
That will work for the defense.
Okay, so we'll see you all at on September 7th at 1:30. We've been doing those. We've been doing the evidentiary hearings in person, although with the way things are going, who knows?
Judge, my client lives in Missouri. I guess I would probably request either, I don't know if we can waive his appearance to misdemeanor, or if he can appear by Zoom on it at all. I don't know if that's possible, just so he doesn't have to travel in for it. But
we're in Missouri.
I don't know that I can tell you that right at this exact second. So.
No, okay. No, I was just curious. Because yeah, Joplin or Kansas City would be closer than Cape Girardeau. So
Kansas City. He's in Kansas City.
Oh, okay. We can work that out. We can work that out later. He may not have to appear unless somebody's gonna call him as a witness. And I'm good under the circumstances, and who knows where we're going to be by September 7th. We may be doing everything by Zoom. We may be locked down again with the way.
I'm surprised they're not already ordering masks and the plexiglass back up again. But
they took in Sedgwick County, they took that plexiglass down a little bit too quickly, didn't they?
They were awful speedy about that.
Yeah. So anyway, but
I'll talk to Brandon about that. And
see if you all can get it worked out. I mean, we do have the ability to do a hybrid where he could appear by Zoom, and the witnesses appear in person, and you all be able to, do your examinations that way. But we'll just kind of play it by ear during this uncertain time. So, but we'll set it for the 7th at 1:30, and we'll work out the logistics later.
Very good.
All right. Is that anything further, Mr. Ariano?
Nothing on behalf of the defense.
Do you anything on behalf of the state?
No, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
See you next month.
Very good.
And I believe that's all we have at 9:30. So we'll see you back here at 1:30.
All right. That'll work. Thank you.
Thank you.